Hello Duelists, it's Joe here from Rufioh. It's been a while. When was the last time I did a deck profile? A good few years, I imagine, actually. But we went to locals, we took this absolute fucking brick city pile of shit, so... if there's any one recommendation I make about this deck, it's don't play it. Yeah, I just wanted to play some sort of budget Lightsworn build. I always have the Lightsworn cards kicking about, and as you well know, where I open lots and lots of packs, I tend to keep a lot of staples kicking about, so I can play bits here and there. And so I tried to put together something that was relatively budget friendly, where I didn't have to pick up too much, just a few extenders and cheap bits and bobs without investing in kind of more expensive engines. I'll talk about what those better engines are if you do want to play something similar to this, and what it is that you might like to pick up. But yeah, overall, like I said, my locals experience was not great. You'll see on my vlog. Well, I say it wasn't great. It was a great time. It was really good fun. It's my first time actually playing like in person at an event in a few years now. I've had a lot of personal stuff going on, and a lot of changes in my life and all of that just meant things haven't really aligned, but we made some time and effort to go, and I'm really looking forward to getting going again, because I do love the game. And that's the reason the channel is where it is. But I digress. That's a discussion for another day. So anyway, into the deck. We'll talk a little bit about what I've got in here. We'll talk about my side deck, although some of that will have to change because the emergency ban list was dropped last night, but some things are still legal, so hence they're in here, but we'll talk about that. And then obviously we've got extra deck, all of that to go through as well. This is a 60 card Lightsworn Chaos pile. Absolute pile. Now, if you're not me and you have good mills, this deck is great. Unfortunately, every time I'd land grass, I would mill like 15 spells and then like 3 Felice, and then just get nothing out of it. It was absolutely ridiculous. The amount of people watching, like, how can you be this unlucky? Anyway, we'll talk about that, and yeah, we'll get into it. So, we'll start with the main deck. So, field centers, tokens, all that rubbish as usual. Okay, so we start off with 1 Judgment Dragon, 1 Punishment Dragon. These are basically free extenders. Obviously, the ability to blow up the board and shuffle loads of things back can come up as well. They get searched for free anyway. It's kind of cool. I don't play the Fusion. I did test the Fusion. It was quite cool. But extra deck space is ridiculously tight in this. So, yeah, I just couldn't really justify playing it. This could have come up a couple of times. This didn't come up at all. But again, just one tournament where I've been playing a little bit more online and things like that. These have both come up plenty. So that's those. On to our Lightsworn packages. So it is 3 copies of Dragonling. This card is so good. So good. You have to play it in 3 copies. It's a foolish. It gets to search. It gets a free body. It's just so good. It does everything. It just makes easy rank 4s and, going synchros and stuff later on if you've got tuners. We've got then 3 copies of Vice. This is, again, just really good. Much like Dragonling, this is probably such a... it's such a good thing that they brought this out. You gave the deck a new lease of life. If you play some of the other packages, which I don't, but if you're playing things like Fiendsmith as well, you can search this quite easily with Tract, which is really nice. Interacts really well with that engine, so if you have that engine, definitely play it. But yeah, it's a really good way, and it can unclog your hand. It can put things like Wolf back on the top, and you've instantly got a free Synchro 8 or free rank 4, which is really cool. We've then got 3 copies of Felice. I didn't get to summon this nearly enough today. I was constantly milling it off like grass and off spell cards and things like that rather than monster effects. It was really quite annoying. When I've done all my testing, I've had none of those issues, and then obviously when you go to an event, it just is what it is. You need to play it. Again, the thing with these pile decks is you just need as many like cards that can just get summoned and be extenders and go off as much as possible. And the flip side of that is you also play a lot of these which can be bricks at the same time. So just is what it is. We've got then 3 copies of Wolf. I'm genuinely the unluckiest guy in the world. I think I must have summoned this like twice today. I would do huge mills off grass and then I'd have like 2 copies still in deck. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I don't need to tell you about Wolf. It just is what it is. We then got 1 copy of Raiden. This was a couple of copies, maybe even 3 at one point. 1 is more than enough. You virtually never actually need it. It's just sometimes it's a nice thing to get off charge, just so you've got a normal summon option, because pretty much everything in this deck is extenders and free bodies and stuff like that. So yeah, just one is plenty, and then obviously you don't need the rotor for that. We've got one copy of Minerva. This is nice to just send off the Minerva Synchro, and then it can also search for you as well, and like Dragon type, which can come up a little bit, especially mid to late game when you've done all your mills. You know, you can get free Dragonling or whatever. So yeah, really, really quite cool. We never really used it for Synchro ability. There's no Synchro 7s or anything like that for it, so it just doesn't come up. We then go on to Bestial Package. This is really, really good. One of the best parts of the deck for sure. It's a reason lots and lots of people are playing this, and you will see it more and more in the meta with that brand new Chronicles deck that's come out. So I've got 3 copies of Lubellion. Yeah, I don't need to add much there. It's Lubellion. 2 copies of Saronir. We've got 1 copy of Drewsworm. Yeah, this is just... it's a really good one. Balldrake, Magnum, this comes up loads. This came up loads. This came up once or twice. And then obviously the Lubellion bits I don't really need to add to. And then on to some other like Chaosy extenders. We've got 2 copies of Wyver Burster. This is so cool. Same with Collapse Up, and just a really good free, fodder, whether you want to go into Synchro. Sometimes it even comes off for Exceed summoning. Mostly it goes into a little Link play, which I'll show you at the end, but I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. Starly Safer, really, really good. Again, don't really need to add to this. It just searches these, and if nothing else, it's just a free level 4. You know, it gets to add things back, good recursion. 1 copy of Levianeer. Levianeer just does Levianeer things. Mostly got used to try and rip today, but does occasionally come up with a pop. We then have the Shuffler package. So we've got Keldo and Midora. These come up loads. These were absolutely brilliant. Love these. Really, really good addition on the recommendation of the Tuggers. Shout out to them for all the help with building this absolute pile of shit. We've got 3 copies of Malicious in mixed rarities, just to, maximize the triggering, but this is bread and butter. This gets you so much of the deck, and again, we'll talk about what it is that we're going into with these later on. We then got 1 copy of Telemint's Ed Sheeran. It's free body, mills things, unclogs the hand. It's really quite good. Performance Trick Clown, just really good. Free body, comes back, makes extra stuff. We've then got some dangers, just a very, very small package. You've got 2 Mothman, 1 Chupacabra. I hate this card. It just never seems to come up, but I just know the odds are I'll take it out and I'll end up with Mothman every time. Sod's Law. Anyway, the Mothman's good though, for the most part. On to spells. We've got 3 copies of Charge of the Light Brigade. We're playing Lightsworn. And yeah, just love the card, so not much else to say there. It's just really, really good. Mill 3 search is nice. Solar Recharge, minimum rarity, just, again, because I'm that guy now, apparently. It's Solar Recharge, it's just not much else to say. Unclogs the hand, draw 2, mill 2. We love it. The 3 copies of Thrust. Didn't really come up today, actually, at all, now that I think about it, but, I don't really need to explain Thrust. Very, very good card. Really good to mill it as well, which is fantastic. 3 copies of Left Arm Offering. Yeah, this is really, really cool. This came up a couple of times, and when it resolves, you normally just see people go, oh no, because they know exactly what's coming. And it is, of course, going to be that grass looks greener. Now, if you're not me, that grass looks greener is amazing. But obviously, me being me, I just build all my spells instead. Or Felice, which I can't do anything with, or my Bestials, or everything. Yeah, it's just quite annoying. Anyway, we got 1 copy of Chaos Space. It's Chaos Space, not really much to add. Monster Reborn, just, yeah. Talents, again, not much really to add there, I don't think. We played 1 copy of Brand of Regain. This is really, really cool. Nice for, like, looping Mally and getting free Bestial summons and draws. And, yeah, it's just a really, really good card. Yeah, it's really sad when you don't have it, or it gets popped or whatever, but it gives you plenty of advantage when it does come up. We've got 1 copy of Call by the Grave. I think this is just almost mandatory at this point. 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Everything we have wants to go to the grave. And then the final card for the main deck is a single copy of the Black Goat Lash. The really good thing with this is obviously if you mill it, it's still got some effect. But if you open it, which I seem to quite a lot actually, it's really, really good. It's just a really good card. Most of the time your opponent's adding things to their hand, you know exactly what it is that they're adding. That means they need to use it quite a lot of the time, especially if you're cleaned up in the meta, you know exactly what to hit with this anyway. Just a really, really good card. Well happy to have that in there. That's the main deck, of course, 60 cards. Yeah, not much else to add there. It's just a massive pile of extenders. In terms of what I might add, if I was to do things differently, I'd maybe look at the Fiendsmith package. That looks really, really good. Again, it's already got great interaction there. And then the other one is potentially something like the Imseti package with like all the Horus bits. Just really good mills and yeah, all of that. Again, not much to really add there. Those are both really good engines. Like I say, I'm playing this on a budget because I don't know that I'll be able to play as often as I might like. It might be every sort of 2-3 months that I can actually get down to locals, given life things. So yeah, I'm obviously kind of reluctant to, sort of invest too heavy in the deck. If I do find I'm going a little bit more, then I probably won't be playing this, that's for sure. Yeah, not much else to say there. So on to the extra deck. Obligatory token. Shout out Reese. Hope you're enjoying some maple syrup. We got one copy of Striker Dragon. This is for the little babies. You make this, and then you make the second baby into this, and then you get another follow-up search for the next turn. This is obviously really good because it just gets you Bestials, and it gets the bounce one, so much to add there. One copy of IP Masquerena. Came up loads. A lot of the time you're going into this with it, SP Little Knight, against just kind of a really good toolbox card that I think you just kind of have to play, don't you? We've got one copy of Minerva, the new Minerva. This is really good. Just mill 2 immediately, banish 4, mill another 4. It's ridiculous. And you can literally, obviously, with your timing, if you've got both Punishment and Judgment Dragon, which comes up a lot, you can summon one, banish the 4, summon the other one, and then you've got a free zombie vampire thing if you want to. We got one copy of Psyframe Lord Omega. This deck's all around banishing and, all of those things, ripping a card out of the hand, just shuffling stuff back. It's just handy. I don't really know what else to say about that, really. We've got one copy of Chengying. This is another reason that stuff like this is good, because it triggers bits like this. Chengying's been really, really, really good. Making a lot of time with Malicious Plus. Any Tuna. It's a really good interruption. It seems to work quite well against a lot of decks at the moment. Yeah, it's just really, really good. Unfortunately, there are a lot of outs to it as well. It seems everyone plays, but really, really good. One Chaos Angel. The reason I fell in love with testing and playing with this deck, this card it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, again, a lot of the main deck, sort of main meta decks at the moment have got ways to out this built into the deck, which is kind of sad, but it just is what it is. You'll win the rogue matchups, and we're not planning to beat, Yummy Mitsu or anything anytime soon. We've got one copy of Minerva. It's Minerva. It draws cards, it mills cards, it pops cards, just does a bit of everything. Exton Knight didn't come up at all today, but it's come up loads in testing. Really, really good way of just bring back the resource game to level, sort of like a level playing field. And your hand's like your graveyard's like a second hand. So we've got one copy of Baguska. This is really, really good if you're in a pinch. This got used against me so many times today, but I actually didn't end up using it at all today. But otherwise, quite good. Dungarees, the Timeless. I didn't make this at all. I very rarely do, but as has been pointed out, it's a way to out Lygadancer because you can just make something else beefy. So that works. Evolsar Lars, this came up, I think, only once today, but again comes up occasionally. One of the biggest threats to the board that you typically make on this, which is usually going to be try to be something like Chaos Angel, Spheres, Chengying, and one of the Bestials. The biggest threat to this is Spell and Trap. Spell and Trap, board breakers, things like that, because you've got lots of protection against monsters, but not that. This just gives you a way to get into that if you can see enough bodies. This might just save your skin a little bit. We've got Zeus. We're playing XC monsters, so you play Zeus, I guess. Zombie Vampire, again, didn't come up at all today, but very, very good. I don't really need to explain to you how good that card is. Milling cards, including your opponents. Snatching stuff. Yeah, not much else to say there. And then onto the side deck, which, again, I think it's super relevant. Another token. Shout out the boys. Rest in peace, Jam Jam Cards UK. Right, we've got Twin Twisters, 2 copies, along with Feather Duster for our back row removal. I was playing Cyclones before, but popping more and unclogging a Mali out of your hand seems kind of nice. Never came up, but theories there, I suppose. We've got triple copies of Dark Ruler No More. It's Dark Ruler No More, right? If I know I'm going to be forced to go second, seems like a pretty good way of dealing with things. We've got triple copies of Nibiru. Again, didn't come up today, but is really nice. It's a really cool card against a lot of other people, and you just don't give a shit about it. We got one copy of Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment, I really would have liked this to be 3 copies. Again, same reason I want to have ways to stop the board breakers. And the monsters just don't cut it. So yeah, just 1 copy of that because that's all we can have. 2 copies of Solemn Strike. I really just didn't know what else to play. I think I was going to play Transaction Rollback because I'm playing D-Barrier, which is my final card. But Strikes went in there because my order didn't turn up. And these obviously will go the way of the dodo because as of 2 days from now, they are banned, probably rightfully so. Bit of a shame for me because this bridges the skill gap, given that I haven't been playing as much as I would have liked. And obviously just hurts every deck in the meta pretty much at the moment. Yeah, don't really know what to say to change them out for. Maybe some hand traps, maybe some board breakers. I don't really know. But Duelist, that is kind of it. Like I say, this is my recommendation. What would it be? Don't play the goddamn deck. This is not great. If you are going to play it, there's better ways to play it. Playing it with things like Imseti, with things like Fiendsmith, will just make it much, much better, much, much more consistent. But it's a good, fun rogue pick, and I think the thing I like about it is that you're not memorizing lines, because you are just milling and praying and hoping, and then just building the board according to what you mill. Again, the trade-off with that is sometimes you're going to open a handful of bestials and no way to summon them. And that's just part of it. That's the fun of playing these big-ass pile of grass decks. But we love it. We love it. It was good fun. Shocking results, but I don't really need to add to that, I'm sure. Anyway, Duelist, that's all from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed it enough to hit subscribe. Maybe even the notification bell as well. Like I say, I'm planning to get down to a few more events in future. Probably not super frequently, but keep an eye out. There will be a vlog if it isn't out by the time this deck profile is. Maybe I'll do the deck profile first, vlog to come later. And then obviously any future events, I'll be down there as well. Anyway, that's enough waffling on from me. Thank you very much for coming along. I do appreciate you being here. I'll see you in the next one.